All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. It is August 31st, 2022, 9:49 p.m. right? Eastern Standard Time, right? So in today's content now, we'll talk about BTC. We'll take a look at the BTC dominance. We'll talk about ETHBTC. We'll talk about BNB BTC, and at the same time, we'll take a look at the total market cap on the macro level, right? We'll basically review very quickly the total market cap and all that good stuff, right? So let me do a quick sound check to make sure everything is okay. All the moon boys can hear. Hey, what's up, Craig? Thanks a lot for tuning in. We got we got K for Liberty. Thanks a lot for tuning in. So guys, don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to join the public Telegram group, link in the description. If you're looking to join the premium group for the macro updates, short-term updates, and all that good stuff, you can basically join the Discord premium group, link in the description. Okay, all you have to do is just send me a message, and I'm gonna give you the information and all that good stuff, right? Pablo S Crypto 589 sound is good. Okay, so now we know it is September. Okay, it is already September for some of you guys, right? If you're living in the moon, right? It is already September. So we know September is a turning point, right? We talk about it in multiple live stream, especially last year, right? When BTC was right around like a 39.5, back in September 2021, we were calling for BTC to retest like a 48%. Okay, and in January 2021, at the same time when BTC retested the 39.5, we were calling for BTC to push back up to 48. Okay, and possibly even break it and go all the way up to a 53. Okay, however, we came back down from like a 48% and retesting again our 39.5 40% support, right? So if you want to take a look at it on a lower degree, let's say you're trading the BTC dominance on a weekly basis, which is one of the best time frame to trade the BTC dominance, right? You're going to see some sort of bearishness. Okay, as you can see right here, we broke below our trend line support, which is not good at all, right? Because our trend line support, okay, being I mean, we started the support somewhere around like back in May 2021 when we got our first dump right here. Okay, so you can see like it's been around like since May 2021, and we just breaking below it. So that's not a good sign in terms of MACD, right? It is not a good sign, right? We're negative, and we know whenever we're negative on our MACD with a break below our trend line support, it is a shift in momentum. Okay, so we got the shift in momentum, but we're retesting the trend line support. So in terms of bearishness, you could be making an argument like, hey, we could be dumping lower. Okay, we could be dumping, but we just have to be very cautious. Okay, the reason for that is like, you take a look at it right here. Okay, back in September 2020, right there, we did get a turning point and push back up to like a 73%, and alt were bleeding. So if you're holding alt back in September 2020, right, you know exactly what happened. Even myself, okay, some of these alt dumped like 80% against BTC. Okay, and but they managed to push back up 10x in USD, in 2021 and all that good stuff. Okay, if you take a look at it, back in September 2019, we picked right here. Okay, somewhere around like 72%, and I was calling for BTC back in 2019 right here, right? I was calling for the BTC dominance to go up to like the 71, 72 and all that good stuff. Okay, you take a look at it, September 2018, again, another turning point. We tapped out right there and basically bottom back in April 2019. Okay, you take a look at it once again right there, another turning point, September, right? September 2017, right? That's where we bottom at, somewhere around like a 50%, 48%, which is actually our current resistance right there, 48%, 50% dominance. Okay, so that's not good at all. Okay, so we know in term of indicators, right, we don't have a strong evidence, right, the BTC dominance will be what, shifting to the upside. But in terms of like a price history, we know September is a turning point. Either we're going to tap out, right? Like what happened right here, right? And right there, 2018 and 2019, or we're going to be bottoming out, okay? Somewhere around, like, let's say, you know, back in 2017 and 2020, you got another one, you know, September 2020 right here again, okay? 2020, 2021, and 2017. So let's take a look at it now in terms of the monthly time frame, okay? Because the monthly, even though the weekly is bearish, right, we have to take a look at the higher time frame. Okay, excuse me, right there. Okay, so if we take a look at the higher time frame, right, we talk about the monthly 21 EMA. That's a monthly chart. All right, let's do this. I don't know why I can't see the monthly. Okay, for some reason I can see the watermark, but that's a monthly time frame, right? So when you take a look at the monthly time frame, we know it doesn't matter which time frame you're looking at, okay? Whenever you get your MACD pointing up, right, sometimes it is very hard, right, to break your previous low. Sometimes yes, sometimes you could get like some divergences and all that good stuff, but in general, right, a bullish MACD indicates like you know, you're not going to get, you know, a strong sell-off below your previous low. So what does it mean? It means in order for BTC to break below the 39.5, right, 39.5 give or take right here. Let's do this. I don't know why this guy not working. Should be working. Okay, right there. Now it's working, right? So in order to basically break 39.5, we got to get what? A negative crossover right here on our monthly time frame, which is not going to be feasible, okay? Even the pump we got back in basically September 2021 right here on the monthly, take a look at it. Our MACD was, you know, wide open right here, big mouth, okay? Bang, but we still managed to push from like a 39.5 all the way up to like a 48%, okay? You take a look at it right here, back in January 2022, big gap right here, wide open. We still pump back up to the monthly 21 EMA. So what does it mean? It means even though, okay, the weekly time frame right here is saying like we are negative, right, and we could be dropping lower, the monthly time frame is saying like, oops, be careful, I can just spike up to the upside, okay, just push all the way up to a 45 you know, 45%, and later on push back up to 48%. Okay, so now in term of pattern, okay, if we take a look at it in terms of pattern, we talk about what? We talk about the flat correction, right? If you guys recall, we said BTC likely to create this flat correction and retest what? The you know, not likely, but it was potential. We did have a potential setup, right, for BTC to we did have a setup for a potential retest of the you know, 39% and all that good stuff, okay? So it is a flat correction, right? So with a triple bottom, okay, it is triple bottoming right now. So that's another evidence, right? Bulls, the BTC maximalists, right, could be, you know, could be finding support right here just to retest or even break above the 48%, you know, 48% and retest the mid 50s and all that good stuff, okay? So MACD at the same time, it is bullish on our 3 weeks basis, okay? So you know, depending on your strategy, right, you just have to use these information, right, accordingly, and you know, try to get a good trade setup, right, for these alt and all that good stuff. But my personal view is like, I'm going with the higher time frame, right? The BTC dominance might not be breaking below the 38%, but we will see, because the 3 weeks time frame, it is still pointing up, okay? We could be spiking back up. Okay, that's my personal view. So if you're still bearish on the BTC dominance, thinking like alt will be breaking out to the upside or breaking out faster than BTC, I mean, that's possible. Okay, we will take a look at the BTC USD chart to see what we could also deduce from the you know, current BTC BTC dominance setup and all that good stuff. All right, so let me know if you guys can let me know if you guys have any question. I'm pretty sure the sound is good, so let me know if you guys have any question regarding the BTC dominance and all that good stuff. We will update the BTC dominance before end of the month again, because it moves very slow, but when it pumps, it is going, it is just going to get the job done. Okay, it is just going to get the job done, right? So just something to basically keep in mind going forward, especially in September and all that good stuff, right? All right, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, right? So we will talk about BTC, right, with the monthly 100 SMA and monthly 100 EMA. So now, we'll take a look at BTC on the monthly cycle, right? So when we take a look at BTC on the monthly cycle, let me just remove this for Leroy. Okay, that's going to be too confusing for Leroy. Okay, so when we take a look at BTC on a monthly cycle, what we've been saying is like our monthly 50 SMA. Okay, the monthly 50 SMA was like the monthly 50 SMA was going to support the price right there, just by like a 21k plus minus 10, right? So we hit our monthly 50 SMA, but price action, it is still printing a bearish pattern. So what we're saying right now is like, hey, we could look for a lower moving average, meaning like a higher number, right? Because the higher the number, the lower the moving average, right? So if we're going to be looking for another moving average, lower than 50, I know it sounds crazy, right? 50 100 lower than 50, right? We could be looking for a BTC to retest as low as our monthly 100 SMA. Okay, not EMA but SMA. Okay, the 100 EMA, it is going to be at 16.6 as of now. Okay, as of now it is at 16.6. That's why back in June and July, I was saying like if we retest the low 16, we're most likely going to get a temporary support. If we don't, we could push back up halfway of the capitulation candle, right, just by like a 25-26, right, and basically later on possibly retest the monthly 100 EMA and all that good stuff. Okay, so on the macro level, right, we could be saying the monthly 100 EMA and monthly 100 SMA, right, going to be the box you got to be paying attention to right here, which is right now 50% to 0.618 in terms of Fibonacci. Okay, if you do a swing low, right, 4k, right, and swing high all the way up to 69, right there you got your 50% pullback, right, just about like a 16k down to 12k area. Okay, I don't know where the bottom going to be at, to be honest, right? I'm not looking for the bottom. I'm just looking for these indicators to support the price and the 3D MACD to basically stay very strong, or the weekly MACD to stay very strong, and we could be saying, hey, we're in a bull market, right? Let's say if we do not get a support from the monthly 100 SMA, we could drop lower. Okay, we could drop lower, but I'm not as of now, right, looking for anything lower than I would say 10k. Okay, would just basically pay attention to these moving averages, right, and basically let the market do the work, right? Because after we retest these macro moving averages, we're most likely going to move sideways like 45 days to 90 days, and you're going to get enough data to basically get a confirmation of a potential push to the upside or a potential move to the downside. But if I just sit right here and saying like, oh, we're going down to 6k or 5k or 3k, I just don't have time for that. Okay, so we'll just have to basically take it step by step, because we've been bearish since December. So it's not like we just started to say BTC excuse me, BTC could potentially drop low. Okay, if you are or you were in our premium, since December, right around like 55, we've been shorting BTC. All the big dump, right, throughout the last 8 to 9 months, we caught it, all of them. Okay, all of them. We did not miss any BTC dump or Ethereum dump or BNB dump. All the big 50% moves, right, we caught it. Okay, we caught the dump from from December. Okay, we caught the dump from like April. Okay, we caught the dump from like June, May, and all of them. Okay, right, so that's all I need to cover, right, for BTC. on a monthly basis, right? The two macro moving averages to pay attention to, going into Q4, right? Because in Q4 we could get a different pattern. Do you see what I'm saying? We could get a different pattern in Q4. We don't know what type of pattern we will get, but we will just let the market, do the work, right? And basically we will basically get another setup and all that good stuff. Okay, could we go to the upside? Could we push to the upside? Yes. Okay, we will talk about it on the lower degree. So don't be too bearish, because BTC hasn't yet retested its weekly 21 EMA, right? Since we broke out below the monthly 21 EMA. So you just have to be very, very, very open-minded regarding the, regarding the setup. Okay. So the next topic going to be ETHBTC. So let's take a look at ETHBTC on a 2D basis, right? So when you take a look at ETHBTC, we've been spot on Ether over the last few over the last few years, right? We've been spot on Ether on the macro level, not on like 5%, 10% move and all that good stuff. We talk about like 50% move, 40% move, 60% moves and all that good stuff, right? So ETHBTC, the first thing we got to pay attention to, it is going to be our MACD. Okay, the first crossover we got was like back in May 2021. We know what happened back in May 2021. That's when we got the big dump, and in terms of percentage, right, we dropped nearly 35% against BTC. Okay, our second crossover was back in September 2021. We just talked about September regarding the BTC dominance. If the ETHBTC chart, right, is bearish, it means right, the BTC dominance most likely going to be pushing to the upside. Because remember, Ether has 20% dominance. Okay, so if it is bearish, it means the BTC dominance will likely to spike up. Okay, so our second crossover right here, we dumped down to where our trend line support nearly 50%. Okay, and if you remember back in April, right, I mean December actually, right here. Okay, I was calling for Ether to dump, right, and you can see like the ETHBTC chart nearly dump another 27% right here, all the way down to like a 0.065 and all that good stuff, right? And right here back in April, if you've been following my channel, I said the Ether dominance will dump all the way down where to our 0.057 support right there. Okay, so that's exactly where we bottom at before pushing back up. So, and if you take a look at it right now, once again, we're getting another negative crossover. So if we get 1, 2, 3, 4 crossovers, right, and sucker dump on average, like let's say 25%, what could we expect? Okay, we just have to expect the same type of moves, right? The same type of move to basically replicate right here, to be replicated right there, and we could see a potential 20 or even like a 25% move where we're going to be retesting 0.057. Okay, so it is negative right now. However, okay, we're not getting yet a confirmation. Even though it is negative right there, we're still above our 21 EMA. So that's a big challenge. Just because it is negative, right, it doesn't mean it will basically break down as of now. Okay, it could take time. It could move sideways right here and create an ending diagonal, right? Possibly, right? I'm not saying it's gonna go up and all that good stuff, but create an ending diagonal, and later on, right, break below the 2D 21 EMA and drop all the way down to the support trend line right here, somewhere around like a 0.057. Okay, the temporary support trend line going to be somewhere around here, 0.075, give or take, depending on when we're going to get there. All right, it seems like my computer is freezing. Gosh, wait. All right, looks like this guy is done exit. All right, so let me try to do this, right? Okay, all right. All right, so but let's move on to the next topic, right? So we're done with Ether. So now let's take a look at BNB. So BNB BTC, all right. So we'll take a look at BNB BTC on higher time frame. It looks pretty juicy, man. I mean, I know it is above all-time high on a monthly basis. No sign of no sign of a you know, negative crossover on our MACD on a monthly basis, right? Yes, we do have a divergence, right? But MACD is, I mean, your RSI is not pointing down yet. It is still pointing up. However, if we take a look at it on the lower degree, let's go ahead and take a look at it on the weekly, right? If we take a look at it on the weekly, it is not looking very strong. Okay, it's been like nearly 4 weeks. We're still around the same level, right there. And if you take a look at it right here, back in you know, back in December, when we moved sideways for like a 4 or 5 weeks, we ended up dumping to the downside. Okay, right now it is at all-time high. I know it looks good on the high time frame, but we just got to be very, very cautious. So now let's take a look at it on a 3D basis. So if we take a look at it on a 3D basis, our MACD is not yet negative, right? Because if you're waiting for the monthly time frame, right, to if you're waiting for the monthly time frame for the negative crossover, it'll take a long time. Okay, you might miss the top and all that good stuff, right? Even though you're not supposed to be looking for the top, but you just want to pay attention to the, you know, 3D 2D time frame. They will give you some good indication, some good, you know, information regarding the top formation. Okay, so MACD on a 3D basis is not yet negative, right? But could be negative in the next like a few weeks and so on. So pay attention to it. So if you take a look at it right here, our previous top formation back in December, and you guys know what happened back in December. We were bearish on what? On Ether. So if you're bearish on Ether, you got to be cautious on what? On BNB, because BNB most likely going to follow Ether. If Ether is bearish, you know, BNB could potentially be you know, be dumping also. That's why we caught all the BNB dumps, right? Because we were, you know, bearish on Ether, right? Right there and right here. Okay, so now we know our 3D MACD is not yet negative. However, let's take a look at our 2D. So if you take a look at our 2D, it is getting closer. Okay, it is getting closer for a potential dump to the downside. We do have a trend line support. It could break it within the next like a few days or even like a few weeks, depending on volatility. So if we break the trend line support, let's do this guy right here. Okay, we could be dumping lower. Okay, it is just a directional move, right? It might not be linear, but it could be something like that, because I don't think BNB will you know, will basically drop linearly, you know, from like a 0.014 all the way down to like, you know, 0.0075, something like that. Okay, so something to keep in mind. Pay attention to the you know, upward sloping right there, right? And at the same time, you got to pay attention to the trend line support right here. It might not be a relevant one, but just pay attention to it, because we got double support right here, just in case we do retest it down the road. I don't know when. It could be this year, next year, but just don't be shorting BTC. I mean, not BTC, but don't be shorting BNB if we retest like a 0.0 you know, 0.01, something like that. Okay, close to it, depending on when we get there. All right, so in terms of temporary support, right? we got our all-time high right there, previous all-time high, right? Just about like a 0.0123. That's going to be the first support for the bulls. If you're trading BNB like on a, on a lower degree, you don't want to short it if we retest like a 0.0123. All right, right there. Okay, so and trendline support right there, our trendline support. Okay, all right, so we're done with BNB, right? For the upside momentum, I mean, you could easily, okay, say like we're going to be pushing to the upside, right, with a 1-to-1 extension, something like that, going all the way up to like a 0.018. That's possible. But looking at like the BTC dominance, okay, potentially, could be going up. I don't see like a BNB, right, going to the upside and the BTC dominance going to the upside. Do you see what I'm saying? However, if the BTC dominance dumps, right, yes, BNB could be, pushing all the way up to 0.018. You see what I'm saying? But by then we should get like enough data regarding the 3D. If the 3D crosses negative, we might not be saying like it is going to push all the way up to a 0.018. Okay, so we just have to keep an eye on the 3D time frame. So got to pay attention to the 3D time frame. I don't think we will get some sort of like a horizontal support on our side, right? Because it is tapping out. So I don't know, I will find it hard, right, to believe like a bulls going to drop right here and then push back up, unless we in a bull run. That's possible. Okay, but remember, your RSI doesn't indicate like where you're going to be bottoming at sometime. Okay, especially when you're tapping out right here, you cannot basically say like, oh, if we retest right here, price action will be, if we retest like, let's say 48, price action will be at 0.013. You can't say that. It could even be somewhere around here. Okay, but we will see. But I'm not looking for a horizontal support as of now, but if we get one, I will definitely pay attention to it. Okay, all right, so we got Powell in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Don't fight the Fed. We got Jude Moonboy, Mr. XRP 589 in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Jude Moonboy, just still waiting for XRP 589. HR in the house, Tells in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. So don't forget to hit the likes, guys. It is free content, and I'm giving you one of the best analysis in the crypto space. I'm giving it to you guys raw. Okay, you get the raw material, guys. I'm telling you guys. If you like raw, just hit the likes, right? So it is free content, guys. So if that's your first time in my channel, welcome to Send Crypto. So I think we're doing good today, man. 28 minutes, right? And we talk about BTC. We talk about everything nearly, right? So now the next topic going to be total market cap. I'm not sure if I will talk about Vechain, right? But let's take a look at the total market cap now. So we'll take a look at the total market cap on a monthly basis. So if you haven't watched it, right, and you're in my premium group, right, make sure to watch the total market cap review, because you're going to get all the details, right? So when we take a look at the total market cap, the crypto total market cap, you can see like, over the last, let's say 9 years, 10 years, whatever, okay, since like 2013, we've been making like high lows. Okay, so we're still in a macro bull run. Okay, our first drop, we got like, I wouldn't say first drop, but our 2014 dump, right, we got minus 80% from 1.6 billion, something like that, right? And we dumped back down to like let's see, that's that's like 14 billion. Okay, 14 billion, and we dump down to like a, you know, 3 billion minus 80% and pump all the way up to like 800 billion. Okay, so if you recall back in April, right, I think like April, May, I was saying like BTC will retest like 800 billion, okay, to retest our monthly 100 SMA, and that's exactly what we did. But going back to our previous bear market right here, we got minus 88%, right? So right here we got minus 80%, minus 88%. Leroy, you do the math, you got what? Minus 84%, right, on average. So if we could expect, right, you know, BTC to be, I mean, the total market cap to drop anywhere between like 80 to 88%, right? We could say, hey, we could drop, you know, in between, okay, somewhere around like a 400 billion, I mean 480 to 500 billion. And at the same time, if we include our monthly 100 SMA, right, that was our monthly 100, you know, monthly 50 SMA, right? We already talked about it back then. We said that's going to be our support. If we basically going to expect our monthly 100 SMA to support the price, right, it could basically coincide with the macro trend line support / resistance. Okay, if you draw your trend line from the 2013 peak right there, you can see like it supported the price back in July 2017, supported the price back in December 2018, you know, March 2020. So if we get any capitulation down the road, I don't know when, okay, because you just don't know what these guys going to do. Are they going to move sideways for the next 3 to 6 months before retesting it? I don't know, okay. But if they do drop, right, within the next like a few weeks, few months, few years, whatever, we could just rely on the trend line support right there, okay. But on average, once again, minus 84% will give us about like a 480 billion. If you're not very picky, I think like anywhere around like a 550, right, 550 billion down to a 500 billion range going to be a good support range, okay. As of now, our basically monthly monthly 100 SMA, it is right around like a 476. Before the monthly close, it was right around like 466. So we pumped like 10 billion. So it is moving pretty, I mean, not pretty fast, but it is moving a lot, okay. So so pay attention to it. So on the macro level, at the same time, if you take a look at your RSI right here, we at a very good level to be paying, to be buying and paying attention to it, okay. So pay attention to your RSI, because we're going to be looking for our next macro peak, right, sometime in 2025. It could be late 2025, early 2026. So you don't want to be buying BTC right here, okay. You want to be buying BTC at the bottom right there, because you're not going to get a 20x in the next bull run. That's what you got to keep in mind. It is going to be pretty hard to get 20x, right, in BTC. I'm not talking about alt, okay. Maybe Ethereum, right, or like ADA, some of those alt could do over 20x, but BTC, I don't see us going like to a 300 billion, 300k, 500k in the next like 2 to 4 years, okay. We could go up to like 180 or even like a 210, but we will talk about it like in another video and all that good stuff, okay. So in terms of total market cap, we could be looking for anywhere between like 7 to 10 trillion. So if we pump like from like 480, let's say 500 billion, okay, for June, 500 billion all the way up to 10 trillion, right? You're looking at like nearly 20x return, okay. The last bull run we got like 30x, okay, 3000%, all right. So I mean, it's pretty good. It is still pretty good. The one before that, we got a crazy pump, like let's take a look at right here, over 28,000%. We're never going to see like this type of pump, okay. We never, I wouldn't say never, but it is going to be pretty hard, right, to see like a 28,000%, right. So I would say anywhere between 15 to 20x, right, in terms of market cap. you know, you got to be selling regardless of, you know, what type of gains you got. Okay, regardless how much you love Dogecoin, Shiba, you know, XRP and all that good stuff, you got to be selling. You got to be selling. Okay, can be waiting you know, unless you buy around like after BTC breaks above all-time high 60k 70k, you might be waiting for like a 500k, right? But you know, if you're accumulating right now 20k down to the next lows, right, and all that good stuff, you don't want to be waiting for like a 500k, because that's going to be stupid. Okay, I want, believe me, I want anything above like 150, right, especially 140, 180 and 200k, you got to be you know, selling and waiting for the next like a bear market. Okay, yes, you could miss a 30% pump. Let's say you get out at 200k or like 180 and BTC pumps like 250. Yes, you got out early, but you're going to be buying it back around like 30k, okay, or like you know, 25k or like 20k, you don't know. All right, so let me go ahead and take a look at the chat room once again. We got Kevin Coleman in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. All right. So guys, I think I'm done, right? We talk about a lot of things today. So if you just joined the live stream, you can just go back and you know, rewatch it from the beginning, so you get all the good stuff, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and take some chat requests. If you have any chat requests, we did good today, guys. We did good, right? 36 minutes, right? This guy is still freezing. I really don't know what's wrong with. Okay, so this guy is good. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a lower degree. Okay, because we're still watching our 3D time frame, right? And we'll talk about the 3D time frame. Yes, we just got a 3D candle right now. Okay, so in terms of 3D, what we've been saying is like it is going to be pretty hard, right, for BTC, right, to break below 17.5 if the 3D MACD stays positive. Okay, it is going to be pretty hard, right? It is going to be pretty hard. So something to keep in mind, because we can still get a three-way move, right, like that on a 3D basis. Okay, so the move down to like a 17.5 could be just a wick. If we're going to make this move, right, create this move, right, and the MACD is staying positive, it could be a wick. Remember your MACD. Okay, let's take a look at right here. I think the default setting is closed, right? Yes, your MACD is closed, right? The default setting is closed, right? The source. So even if we retest like the 17, 18Ks, right, and price action ended up closing above like 20K within the same 3D candle, the MACD still going to be positive potentially, all right? And that could create the that could create a potential flat correction just like that. Okay, so something to keep in mind. I wouldn't be too, I know September is a turning point, but in September we can still, right, dump right here, pump right here, and dump. That's possible. So the volatility could be, could be going to the roof. Okay, so just be patient, right, and trade it responsibly, right, and not look for any moonshots or dump shots, right? Because I said it back in early August when BTC was right around 24K. I was telling you guys, you got to accumulate shorts right here, right? Because we're going down. Okay, we're not gonna break the 3D 21 EMA that easy. It is likely to get rejected, and we could retest like anywhere between like 0.786 down to 0.888 or even a full retracement. So if you shorted at 24 or even higher, you know, you got a 20% dump, okay, from Send Crypto. Very impulsive, right? So everyone was calling for like 28, 30K. I was like, man, these guys, okay, it is going to be hard to get like 30K in, you know, in Q3. And the reason for that is like, you know, right here, if you take a look at our June open, right, we opened right around 32K and we shorted at 32K. And I said it back in, you know, early July, we're not going to go back up to 30K. We're not going to retest our June highs at 31, 32K. And everyone been looking for like a 30K since June. And this quarter could be very boring, okay? It could be very, very boring if we go back up to a 24, 25K, okay? All right, Solana, let's go ahead and take a look at Solana, but it seems like, okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Sol USD. So Solana USDT, I gave the macro analysis like long time ago with the flat correction right here. So if you've been watching me long enough, when Solana gave us this pattern, we called for the dump all the way down to the 30s. Okay, so we dropped all the way down to like, you know, 25 and all that good stuff. So it is still correcting, right? It is following BTC, created a wedge pattern right there, right? Dump 70, you know, points, dump down to a 0.786. MACD, it is still positive, right? Even though we did have a temporary bullish pattern right there. Right here, right? Push back up, could not get a clean breakout above the 3D211, so just a push back down. Okay, so just watch BTC, right? If BTC decides to go back up, right, Solana could create another flat correction right here. All right, so what does it mean? It means like the BTC dominance. Okay, if these are going to create a flat correction, something like Solana and all that good stuff, right, and pushing back up, it means like the BTC dominance could be dumping lower, below 40%, but we will see. Okay, we will see, right? So, but if the MACD cross is negative, so you just have to be cautious, because it could just create a temporary bear flag right here instead of going back up and give you the next leg down to like, you know, $12, $13 range. All right, so you just have to be very, very cautious with the MACD. Just watch your MACD, okay? Okay, we already hit 50% pullback. I mean 382, right? And 50% pullback going to be somewhere around like $16, right? But in terms of price support, you got like, you know, $13 as the next support. Okay, a strong trend line resistance, so you're still in a downtrend. Okay, you're still in a downtrend. Okay, and we caught all the Solana dump, okay, from like $200. Okay, we were calling for the you know, $100 from like you know, 120 and all that good stuff back in April when we were calling for BTC to dump. May, right, we were calling for Solana to dump also. Okay, Quiet Cook cooking some ADA in the kitchen. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We got Crypto Moon Boy. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Okay, so let's take a look at ICX. I like ICX BTC chart better than ICX USD, just because you can get a better view. Okay, so we're still holding at 1400 sats, and I said it, ICX, you know, just accumulate at 1400 sats. If we take a cheap shot, right, back up to like, you know, 5,000 give or take, we just have to suck it up and get out. Could it go higher? Yes, it could go higher. Just just in case we get the get price action to retest like a 1400. Okay, it is at, you just have to it is at a good support area. Just have to suck it up and be patient for the next alt season. It does well against BTC. It just doesn't go like 20x 30x. Okay, December 2020 it bottomed. Okay, pump with the rest of the market. Right here, January 2020 it bottomed. Okay, could we get another bottom before December? Possibly. Okay, your weekly MACD is still pointing up, right? So any dump, right, unless we get another negative crossover on our MACD, any dump going to get bought up very quickly. Okay, yeah, and I wouldn't worry about buying around like 1000 sats and all that good stuff, right? If we break below let's say 1400 right here, you gotta wait like for a 50% dump below it, somewhere around like 600 sats, 500 sats to accumulate. You don't want to be accumulated like in small increments, right? Okay, so K4 Liberty is asking, son, why is UniUSD 3D MACD negative first? Because I think UniUSD pumped first, right? UniUSD pumped from $3 I think to $6. So yeah, I did not see UniUSD 3D MACD. Okay, so most of these alt, the 3D MACD are still positive. Okay, are still positive. So but UniUSD pumped first, right? From the June 18th, right? It pumped straight up, did not waste any time. Okay, and pump all the way up above the weekly time frame. Okay, all the way up above the weekly 21 EMA, not weekly time frame, right? Yeah, but the 3D MACD is negative, so just be cautious. Okay, even if it pumps back up to $9, that's still going to be a short right there. Okay, that's still going to be a short if it does something like that. Okay, if we want to consolidate, in this range, we could basically create the flat correction and we could look for a move to the upside. That's going to be a potential setup to look out for, right, in the next like a few weeks. If not, if the 3D MACD stays negative, right, just like that, most likely this guy is going to do something like that to retest the lows again. Okay, and we will basically monitor it, right, if we retest the lows right there. Okay, but it did have a nice setup. I think I sent UniUSD long time ago, right, with the with the descending triangle of top formation, and we dump all the way down to $4. Okay, we did have the same setup on BTC. Okay, yep, BTC, same setup right there, descending triangular top formation, dump all the way down to 0.888. I sent it long time ago, even before it broke down. Okay, so let's take a look at a KDA BTC. Cadena, I think Cadena is dumping hold. Okay, so I think I gave you Cadena macro analysis. So Cadena, it is still in a downtrend, so you just have to be patient, right? I don't see any reversal yet. I know MACD is positive, right, on your weekly basis, but it can easily create some noise right here. Okay, easily create some noise. So just watch these macro supports. Next one against BTC going to be somewhere around like a 4700. We already hit like 53, so and then you got like 2379, 2000 2400, right, sats and all that good stuff, right? I don't know why I got 883 right here, right? So just have to be patient, right? Because you could get a round trip. You could get a nice round trip, something like that. Okay, and move sideways for the next, like, I'm not talking about like you know, this guy going up like temporarily to the upside to the previous Fibonacci. I'm talking about like just a round trip back down to the bottom. You could get one, so you just have to be very patient for the next like a few months, okay, with it, or even like a few years, right? A good example is AMP. AMP right now it is nearly at the bottom, right? And I talked about it when AMP was right around like 140. Okay, right there we said, you know, we could get the round trip back down to the bottom before like any macro breakout in the next like a few months and so on. Yes, once again, you're going to get some temporary pops, right? Let's say from like a 15-20 sats, we could even get a pump back up to like a 80 sats, but you got to sell those. Okay, you got to take profits on those moves. Okay, so AMP, keep an eye on it. You can see pretty similar to Cardano, KDA BTC. It is right around here in terms of like a pattern. Okay, yeah, AMP. Okay, pay attention to it. It looks good right now. It is at the bottom, so if you, it is at 30 sats, so if you could catch it at, you know, 15 sats, right, 50% done from here, that's going to be nice for the next like a 3 to 6 months. We could get a nice pop in Q1. Okay, okay, let's take a look at nulls. Nulls been pretty quiet. So nulls, as you can see right here, okay, you can see how these guys you know, move sideways like for years. Okay, so if you're speculating, for instance, for nulls back in 2019 to push to the upside, right, you see like what nulls did to you. It's still in a downtrend. Okay, I mean, it is still, you know, it is still giving us some short-term pumps, but it is not pumping like, you know, 10x, 20x, 30x yet. Okay, so just have to be very patient with it. It is at the bottom. It is nothing you can do. It can easily pump back up to like the you know, April 2019 peak right here, April 2019, March 2019, right? Because most of these alt, if you recall back in 2020, we were looking for what, these guys to go back up to the April 2019. So if you've been following me long enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I know it's been a while since I've been talking about the April 2019, but we've been catching those moves, right? Regarding those quick pops. Okay, so if it pops all the way up to you know, 20,000, bang, you got to get out, and because it could take another few years to retest the bottom. They're just going to be oscillating against BTC. They're never going to pump to infinity against BTC. So unless it, you know, unless we got nulls to be delisted or something like that, it could give you a you know, a very surprising pump. Really, I'm not saying it will, but the chart looks good in terms of like a buying and holding at the bottom. Okay, Pablo S Crypto, that's your nulls BTC. Hey Tyro, thanks a lot for tuning in. Tyro is saying, hey Sen, thanks a lot, man. I finally made it to your stream. If you don't mind, check AXS. AXS, a pretty volatile, this sucker is pretty volatile. Okay, yeah, I remember us shorting AXS around like $90, right? Back in January. Okay, and right here again, you know, $64, $65, we were calling for this guy to dump also. Okay, in our premium. Right there. Yeah, broke the macro trend line. Nearly hit, you know, to 382 Fibonacci. Your next support going to be $4, right? 4.5 all the way down to like a $3 range. It is a big gap. Okay, the reason for that is like you got your price support below your Fibonacci support right here, just by like a 285, something like that. Okay, so you just have to cover the entire range, right? And keep an eye on it, on a 6-hour basis. If it retests these lows up to the daily time frame, okay, to try to get the lowest price possible. Okay, if we retest these lows, okay, because we're going to get another temporary push after that, right? So your resistance could be your weekly 21 or even the monthly 21. Okay, let's check the monthly 21, or even the monthly 21 going to be all the way up to $34, $35. Okay, if we get there. Okay, but the directional move, it is still down. It is still down, guys. It is still down. It pumped a lot, man, from 10 cents all the way up to nearly $200. It reminds me of Neo back in 2017 when it pumped like from 10 cents, 17 cents all the way up to like 160, 170. Okay, so you could still get those $4, $5 range, or even $3, just like Neo pump from a dump from like a 170 to $100 range all the way down to a $3 to $4, $5 range. Okay, AXS BTC, and I think it is a layer 1. Okay, so it won't look good at all if this guy going to do a round trip. It could take years, right? So if you're bullish on it, you might, not financial advice, but you might as well accumulate BTC and watch AXS BTC. Okay, just accumulate BTC and watch this guy, just in case we get a round trip. You already hit your 50% pullback. Your 0.618 going to be at 31,000. Okay, 31,000, you could give it a shot to see if it's going to pump back up to like a 50,000. Okay, that way, you increase your BTC nearly, let's say, whatever, 60%, right? Something like that. Yeah, 60%, right? So it's very bearish. I hope not, right? It gives us a round trip, because if it does, it will look like a EOS. Okay, it will look like EOS. Take a look at EOS right here. In 2017, after we picked, right, you might be saying like, oh, we're going to the moon after we bottomed, temporarily bottomed back in December 2018, pumped back up to like, nearly 100,000 sats, right? 112,000 sats. But take a look at it. Sucker dump all the way down to like a below 4,000 sats. Okay, after that. So be mindful. Some of these alt, they're going to drop like 98, 99%, not in USD, but in BTC. So what does it mean? It means during the next bull run, some of these alt won't perform well. Yes, they could give you a 10x, 20x, but you got to buy them after they drop like, let's say 98, 99% in USD. Then in USD, you could get your 10 to 20x, right? As you can see right here, from the entire bull run, right? This guy, the 2020 bull run, this guy did not pump a lot. Okay, it only pumped like 300% against BTC. Okay, after dumping like 98% against BTC, 97%. You see what I'm saying? So you just got to be cautious. For instance, if you if you dump from like $100, right, all the way down to like $2, and then you pump back up, let's say to $8 in the next bull run, I mean, you still did bad. Okay, so got to be accumulating BTC in the next like 3 to 6 months. Yes, you're going to miss like some alt pump. Some of these alt, they're going to pump like temporarily 100%, 150%, 200%. You're going to miss those temporary pumps, but you're not going to miss the next bull run because you're holding BTC. And once BTC breaks above all-time high, you could accumulate more. You could start to accumulate alt because you know they're going to temporarily pump again, 5 to 10%, 5 to 10x, right? But if like, let's say I believe in like Solana. I'm not saying Solana going to flop and all that good stuff, right? Let's take a look at Sol. Okay, so let's say I believe in Solana and I'm buying Solana BTC. Okay, not buying BTC, but just buying Solana. If Solana flops, right, and it might, do well in terms of like a technology, but let's say it flops against BTC and retest your all-time low right there, you're not going to do well in the next bull run. You're not. Okay, because BTC will not go 100x in the next bull run. BTC will not go 20x, 30x probably. Okay, very low chance. It has a very low chance to go like more than 20x in the next bull run. Okay, so that's why you got to pay attention to BTC in the next like a few weeks and few months. Okay, you might be saying like we're not gonna drop this low, but guys, okay, that's only like 98% only. Okay, 99%. If you take a look at ADA BTC back in 2017, right? 2018. Take a look at it. Okay, so I could drop 96%. Okay, 96% against BTC. Yes, it did well, right? But you needed to buy it at 400, 500 sats. Remember, we talked about ADA back in October 2020. October 2019. Accumulate ADA for the next bull run right here. Okay, so, but the only alt I can find right now retesting all-time low is AMP, I think. Okay, yeah, with the parabolic move to the upside and parabolic move to the downside. Right, only AMP is one of the few alt, right, basically giving us the parabolic move to the upside and parabolic move to the downside. Man, it was supposed to be 30 minutes live stream. So you take a look at Pirate Chain, right? Yeah, Pirate could be coming back down. Okay, so if you were bullish on Pirate Chain right there, right, expecting it to go back to the moon, it is giving you a round trip, and it could take a very long time before we get another parabolic move like what we had right here. Okay, because those people who bought Pirate Chain around like a 500 sats, 300 sats, and sold at 30,000, 40,000, whatever, they're still on vacation. They're not back yet. So and they'll be back if we retest like 300 sats. I'm not saying it will, but it will be a great level to accumulate for the next, let's say 18 to 36 months for the next pump. Bullish crypto, thanks a lot for tuning in. Gracias Pablo as crypto. So ERG, it created a flat correction against BTC, but did not in October 2021, right? September, whatever, right? September, October, right here. It did not follow one BTC. I think one BTC, right? And FT and BTC, they created the double top, double bottom right there and pumped it upside. If you followed me back then, when the market was dumping in September 2021, what we said, OE and BTC, right? Right here. That was actually July, okay, with the flat correction. Right there. Okay, pump and pump again in September, right? November, something like that. Okay, November actually, okay? But the flat correction right there, that's what we got on ERG. Okay, and once again, this guy we caught it at the bottom right there. Okay, caught the bottom right there back in November 2020. Okay, right around like 10-13 sats, and now it is coming back down with the parabolic move. Okay, just have to be very patient with it. Yeah, FTM is also coming down. Okay, the flat correction right there. Okay, yep, this guy pumped in August with the flat correction. So we'll see if we're going to get the parabolic move to the downside also at the bottom. Hey, what's up, Nibra? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Let's take a look at Dodge. So Dodge, next support going to be right here, 3.5, right, to 2 cents on a macro level, right? Ether retested monthly. Let's see that's the 100 is okay. The 100 MA, right, going to be at 3.5 cents for Dogecoin. And in terms of Fibonacci, right, it is going to be at 50% pullback. So if you've been watching me long enough, you know we said Doge going to retest what, 5 to 7 sats, right? And we will basically keep an eye on it in case we create like a bearish pattern, right? The resistance going to be up to 11 cents as of now because the monthly 21 EMA is at 11 cents. Next support 3.5, give or take. Okay. And if you want to take the anti-move from the 2015 bottom, right, your 382 Fibonacci going to be at the same time, right, at 3 cents. So 3 cents to 3.5 cents going to be the next support for Doge, right here. As of now, it is still accumulating at, let's say 5 cents, 6 cents average price, right? And once again, it's not going to do anything until BTC breaks all-time high. So no need to rush Dogecoin. Okay, it's not going to do anything. Right here, we broke out back in February of 2017 because BTC was getting ready to break above all-time high. Right here, November 2020, we broke out because BTC, was getting ready to break above all-time high. So just have to be very, very patient. So you got 2017, 2020, right? 3.5 years. Okay, so it could take another, let's say right here you got November 2020. It could be like 3 years, summer 2024 probably, if we're going to respect the 4 years cycle. Okay, somewhere around here, I don't know. Or right here, could be right here too, right there. Yeah, it could be anywhere around here before the next peak, possibly up to $3 and all that good stuff. Let's take a look at LTC. Is a little bit weak. Yeah, Litecoin is slightly weak, but bulls, they're still holding support. If you want to draw it like that, they're still holding support, right? But good time to be accumulating. I'm not sure if Litecoin will go like a 50x and all that good stuff, right? But we do have a double top, so we could draw our Fibonacci, right? Our next support you know, right here, you know, $21-23, and we will see if we're going to print, you know, more bearish, another bearish pattern right here to retest like 0.618 at $10. Okay, but I'm not saying it will drop down to $10. We'll just have to take it step by step. Okay, it is respecting 382. It has to break it. I don't see anything bullish as of now, right? Because we below let's do this. We're below our monthly 100 EMA. Man, Litecoin already retested its monthly 100 EMA because it's been moving sideways. That's why, right? So it can get to 100. Yeah, can get to 100. Yeah, but next support, low 20s. You don't want to be selling because you could get a nice pump back up to like a 40 to $45 depending on what the crypto market will do. Okay. All right. Okay, so if we get a breakout to the upside and you're paying attention to the monthly basis, just look for the monthly 21 EMA. So that way you won't care about the volatility. Okay, unless you want to look for the weekly 21 EMA, which is not that far away. It is just about like $70. Okay. So for BTC, right, next resistance is going to be the weekly 21 EMA, regardless when, now or later, right? For alt, the next resistance, right, going to be potentially like the monthly 21 EMA. Okay, assuming the BTC dominance will drop during that time frame. So alt will pump faster than BTC on the next pump. Okay, so remember, alt next macro resistance, monthly 21. BTC next macro resistance, weekly 21. I'm not saying it will be in September or October, November. I'm just saying in terms of direction. Okay, just like with the way we were looking for BTC, just like the way we were looking for BTC to to get rejected at the 3D 21 EMA, and alt to be rejected at the daily 100 EMA. Okay, and most of them got rejected at the daily 100 EMA, and BTC did not retest its daily 100 EMA. I don't know anything about bond. I don't know the name of it. Bond. We got a lot of bonds right here, man. Bonded finance. I don't know. It might be this one. It doesn't have enough. I don't know which one you're talking about. Okay, give me the full name. It might be this one. I already did some charting on it, so yeah, I already hit the 21 resistance. Very, very choppy. The 3D already negative, so we're still in a downtrend. So just got to be cautious now, right? If you miss the pump, so just have to wait for the retest of like 250. Okay. Burn. Not burn bridge. Bond bridge, right? Yeah, just have to wait for the retest of 2.5. we in a bear market. So these quick pumps, they all, I mean, not all the time, right, but most of the time they're going to come back down, okay, because we're in a bear market, right? All right, guys, I'm just going to keep it short. It is already like 1 hour 15 minutes, okay? I know it is too long, but I just needed to answer some of your questions, but I was already done with the with BTC, Ether, and all that good stuff. All right, guys, be safe out there.